Hello, my lovelies. I finally did it. It only took 29 days, and I got both my YouTube live video and my Facebook live to happen at the same time. So, ooh, yay, let's celebrate. Welcome to day 29 of 42 Abundance, Prosperity, and Wealth. I would love to know how many of you guys are actually committing and how many of you guys are showing up on days that I am not able to make it, because a commitment, hey, small car guy reviews, thanks for showing up. A commitment is a commitment no matter what. Like, how do you show up for yourself, even when the outside world changes, or even if other people aren't there to like hold your hand or assist you? Are you still showing up for yourself? So today's wisdom topic is self-compassion and mercy. I don't know if anyone else watches Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, but I was watching it with my aunt. It's our ritual whenever I come home. And Brene Brown was on there, actually Brene Brown, and then she was talking about having compassion for yourself. And then there was another guy on there, a civil rights lawyer, talking about mercy. So those two things kind of triggered something to me and just what I'm going through personally. And I thought it was a perfect topic, especially for day 29, because by this point, that's 4 weeks in, right? And I'm sure you've had your ups and downs with it, whether you're doing this meditation or it's just allowed you to think about the process in general. So anytime you do things, especially for a longer amount of time, life comes in the way, and there's like maybe sickness or plans or vacations or whatever it is, but things that make it harder to commit over a long period of time. But they also say it takes 28 days to change a habit. So congratulations, anyone that's actually showed up this entire time, you've actually officially changed a habit. So I want to see, actually, has anyone actually done it for the 28 days? That would be amazing to note. But the reason I think self-compassion is so important, because in any extended time period, you're going to go through changes. So the moon phases actually are on 28 days, and the moon goes through so many phases just over that short time period. And we, especially women in particular, men are more the masculine, I should say, because some men are more feminine, women are masculine, but the masculine is more fixed. Just like, think of it like the sun, right? The sun sets and rises at more similar times every day, whereas the moon, which is a feminine, goes through phases. So if you're more aligned with your feminine or your intuition, your feelings over this 28-day period, you definitely have gone, hey Nelson, good to see you, thank you. You've definitely gone through different like phases of in and out. Maybe some days you're motivated, other days you're not. So it's an opportunity to really see what happens when life arises, what happens to your commitments, to your desires, and to your plans. And when you're not feeling up to it, or when you don't show up, or you do things differently than you originally intended, how do you feel then? How do you react or respond to yourself? And that's why I think self-compassion and mercy is so important. To forgive yourself on days when you don't feel motivated, to forgive yourself on days when you don't want to show up, when you might have had a plan and something else gets in the way. Because the reason why that's really important, if you're not able to forgive yourself, then you're much more likely just to give up or to quit, right? Because inevitably life is going to happen. Life is going to get in the way. So if you have this dream or this desire or this commitment towards prosperity and allowing abundance into your life, there has to come a point in time where you're willing to forgive yourself, and not just for what's coming up currently, but whatever is in the past. Because what we don't forgive, we are holding on to. And whatever we're holding on to is basically a roadblock from allowing us to receive. And if everything in life is energy, money, abundance, opportunities, relationships, it's all energy at the end of the day. Anytime we don't forgive, there's a roadblock or something in the way of us receiving what it is we say we want. So that's why it's incredibly important to forgive yourself, but not just forgive, because forgiveness is like a one-time thing, or it's not necessarily one time, but it's like a specific, like you forgive yourself for a certain thing. But compassion is even beyond that. Compassion is the opportunity to, or the willingness to forgive yourself constantly, right? If you're having a whole day or a week, or where you're having a difficult time, or where you're struggling, do you allow yourself ease in that situation? Can you extract yourself from yourself and say, you know what? I understand. like you're having a hard time. Because the thing is, it's so much easier oftentimes for us to not judge others, us to have compassion towards others. But for, hey, Renee, how are you? But for ourselves, we oftentimes can be very hard on ourselves. I know I can be very hard on myself. And I've been told this a lot because I have extremely high standards for myself and what I want and what I want to accomplish in this lifetime. And I always want to achieve and achieve more. And beyond that, I have very lofty ideals and goals. I don't want to be the average. I want to always raise myself up higher. But that means I'm constantly in this in between space. All the things we've talked about, I'm constantly in flux. I'm constantly in the in between space. I'm constantly trying things that are new. So that creates its own sense of anxiety and fears. So, in order for me to do that, or in order for anyone else who's similar to do that, you really have to have compassion. And it's an ongoing thing. And one exercise or thing that I find extremely helpful is, I say this to my clients a lot: how would you respond to someone else in the same situation? For example, let's say if you wake up and you're like, oh, I just don't want to get out of bed. I'm exhausted. I don't want to show up for work. I don't want to show up for this thing. I don't want to call this person back. I don't want to, whatever it is, right? How would you treat, let's say, if your best friend or if you're a child or someone that it's easy for you to show compassion towards, your parents, your best friend, a coworker, whoever it is? Think about the person in your life that is the most easy for you to show compassion towards, your partner, and think of yourself as that person. What advice would you give to that person? If that person came to you and said, I'm really struggling. I had this idea. I had this goal. I have this thing, but I'm not feeling motivated. I'm just having a hard time. I don't want to show up for it. I'm terrified. I don't know what to do. Would you beat them up and say, why are you not doing it? You said you're going to do it. You're a loser. You're irresponsible, whatever it is. Is that how you talk to other people? Or would you say, you know what? It makes sense that you're feeling this way. You're probably feeling this way because, and then you can write down all the reasons why, right? That's why journaling is also very helpful, to write down all the reasons why you're feeling that way. And then what are actions we can take? What are steps we can take to mitigate those feelings, not to ignore them and not to bypass them, but to see them objectively and then take a step back in the direction of what it is you want. But sometimes you need that in between space. Sometimes you just need rest. Sometimes you need a hug. Sometimes you need a good meal. Sometimes you need assistance. Sometimes there are things that we can't necessarily do or we aren't meant to do completely on our own. And there are some things, like, for example, I'll give an example. Everyone knows, I mean, most of you know by now, I've been working on this book, and it's literally my life, is everything I put into. And I don't know what happened. Out of nowhere, my Microsoft Word crashed. And it's literally, it's like it's written in Harry Potter invisible ink. The whole thing is not showing up on my computer. And I don't know if it's my computer or if it's Word. It looks like at this point, because I've done a little bit of investigation, but it looks like it's my Word. But I'm a really good writer, but I struggle with modern day technology. I have like an iPhone 6. I wait until the last minute to update my app. I'm like super conspiracy theory. I'm like, I don't want things on the cloud. I don't want just anyone to read it. My brother, who's a professor of like technology, always laughs at me because we are completely opposite perspectives. But I know that when it comes to technology, it is not my strong point, and I get overwhelmed. I literally want to cry. Talking about it right now, I want to cry. So that is not my strong point. So me going on a loop in that situation, I'm just going to go and sink to the bottom of the well. I just want to quit. And that's how I was feeling yesterday. I was really trying, and I'm proud of myself. I looked up the solutions online. I tried all the things I was able to do. And then at one point in time, I just knew that I couldn't on my own do anymore. So I asked people for help, and actually I got the help I needed, and it's not completely resolved, but now I feel much better about it. And so it's also knowing, again, I could have beat myself up and been like, why don't you get this? Why are you so emotional about it? Why? But it sucks. I'm sure you guys have all had like bosses or parents or people that beat you up in the process. And then it keeps you small and it keeps you from going forward. So having self-compassion is a way to not stop you from going forward, because it can actually be another form of self-sabotage. When we are not able to have compassion for ourselves or for others, it is a form of sabotage that we create roadblocks that we can't move forward. And sometimes we might even do that unconsciously. It's a way for us to quit before trying, because it's a way, going back to yesterday's topic, of us feeling safe, right? If we don't have to go in that unknown or that in between space, if we never even allow ourselves to get there, if we preemptively stop before we even allow ourselves to get there. And I don't want you guys to do that. I want you guys to be able to go forward towards your dreams. I want you to be able to not give up. So that is why self-compassion is absolutely vital. So I hope that helped someone, anyone. And now we're going to go on. You're going to do 6 minutes of the HUD Kundalini Yoga meditation for prosperity, and then 5 minutes of silent meditation. So thank you, everyone that showed up. I hope my wisdom and insight helps someone in some way. Welcome to my parents' study, by the way. I actually like this backdrop, even though it's a bit dark. There's no other light besides the lamp, so it's a little bit dark, but I like the backdrop. So we're going to do this. So the goal, I'm trying to go back to my goal, keep trying to read 11 a.m. PST for the next 12 days. I'm going to try my best. Again, it's the holidays, so it's not just my own schedule. I'm sure you guys know, and family and friends and appointments and things. There are things beyond my control. But I hope you guys show up for yourselves no matter what. But my goal is I'm going to try my best to be on here at 11 a.m. PST for the next 11 days. Okay, everyone ready? So we're going to start the meditation. Anyone that doesn't know, it's HUD. Tongue goes up to the roof of the mouth. Wrong one. Okay, and then you create like a cup like this, index fingers pointing. It's not flat, it's like a cup, and then you're emptying your cup and then opening it up, allowing yourself to receive, emptying out what doesn't serve you. And then you pull in deeply at the navel. And then you want to actually be holding up around your navel point, but in order for you all to see it, I'm doing it a bit higher. But for you guys, or whatever is comfortable, but around your navel point is probably ideal. For 6 minutes. HUD, 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 HUD. Pulling deeply at the navel. HUD, 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 HUD. And I want you to imagine every time the cup is up, allow yourself to fill up with mercy. Mercy is forgiveness even when the person does not necessarily deserve it. So allow yourself to fill up with mercy, and when you let go, forgive yourself. Allow yourself forgiveness for anything you've done, any area where maybe you've fallen short, any area where you've given up a little bit, where you don't feel motivated, where you've withdrawn, where you haven't followed through, and allow for new opportunity to come in. HUD, HUD. And your gaze is 90% your eyes are closed and 10% you're just looking at your nose and your hands in front of you. And pulling deeply at the navel. HUD, 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 HUD. So just do this meditation with us, and then we'll do a silent meditation. Thank you. HUD, 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 HUD. And we're allowing yourself to focus on the feelings of compassion, self-compassion, and mercy. HUD. Being willing to forgive ourselves. We are only human after all. A part of us might be connected to something deeper, something bigger, but we're also in this human bodies, in this human form, at this time, in this structure that does have its own limitations. HUD, 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 HUD. And as long as we live within it, we're always going to have moments of that seem like failure. But sometimes this can be our biggest learning point, is how we pick ourselves up from that. It's not what we're going through, it's how we respond to what we're going through. And how do we get up from it? We're always in the fall, it's never the way. And it's okay. We're only human after all. Even if we are something more, there's an aspect of us that is in this form, this human form, in this human world. And as long as we want to navigate through it and not put up roadblocks, we're going to have compassion for ourselves and others. HUD, 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 Pulling deeply at the navel. And allow whatever feelings to arise, no judgment. Even if you have the idea or the intent to see something all the way through and you don't, what you did show up for, what you did do is not pointless. It gets you closer. It's giving you knowledge. It's giving you wisdom. It's getting you in a direction. Nothing has to be failure. Nothing has to be lost as long as you learn from it. And sometimes that can form regret. And regret is an opportunity for you to not have to re-choose the same path, for you to do something differently in the next situation, because the universe is always going to give you the next situation. It might be different. It might not be the same. But you can learn as long as you're willing to forgive yourself, as long as you're willing to forgive others, and have compassion for the process and the ups and downs and the inconsistencies. Oftentimes ones that you did not create, that are beyond you. Don't forget, pulling deeply up the navel. Just one more minute. Make it count. This moment is all that's guaranteed in life. What are you doing with every moment given? Keep going. Hold that cup in your hand. Think of one thing, one area in your life where you can have more compassion for yourself. Are you lacking energy? Do you not have enough money to pay your bills? Do you have resentment towards someone? Are you afraid? What is it? One area of your life that you can really use compassion in, and allow yourself to focus on that. And now we're going to go into 5 minutes of silent meditation. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for appreciating me and seeing me. I'm just a reflection of you. We're all beautiful. So often, though, we don't allow ourselves to see it in ourselves. We see it in others, but we're all just reflections of one another. For 5 minutes, everyone sit with your back straight, your shoulders relaxed, your heart open. Taking a full deep breath in through your nose. Hold it and release and let go. Let go of any tension. Taking another full deep breath. Call in all your energy from all time and space. Call it in, and with your exhale, let go of anything you've picked up that's someone else's, anything that no longer serves, anything that's not yours. With the next full deep breath in, breathe in the color that most resonates, the color you most need, and allow that color to come into you, to expand behind you, 6 feet in front of you, 6 feet behind you, 6 feet above you, and 6 feet below you. And as you exhale, allow yourself to become that color, to create a bubble of light that protects you. And for these next 5 minutes, allow yourself to become one, to just see this color surrounding you in all aspects of your beings. Allow it to cleanse out your cells, any darkness, any fear, any place or area where there might be something that you just haven't fully been willing to forgive, any place where you beat yourself up, any place where you struggle, any addictions, any fear, any anxiety, any resentments. Allow this light to clear them out. Allow yourself to be with yourself. Allow yourself to be with something beyond you, for there is so much beyond us. Allow yourself to fill up with this truth, knowing that in this moment, I am okay. In this moment, all is okay. In this moment, my only job is to breathe, to exhale, to inhale fully and exhale fully. There's nothing else. There's nothing wrong. My only job is to breathe. What does it feel like to have that peace, to have any tension removed, any ideas of what you have to do, of what you're not doing, of what you're doing wrong? Allow yourself to breathe in this peace and this ease and let go fully. In this moment, I'm perfectly okay. In this moment, I'm perfectly lovable. In this moment, I am perfection. In this moment, I am love. Breathe in that truth and exhale and release. Let go of anything that's not that. Any feelings of unworthiness, any feelings of unlovability. So much, at the end of this day, so much that comes down to is just allowing ourselves to receive. As much as we say we want things, we want that relationship, we want that job, we want that financial stability. Perhaps there's still a lesson that needs to be learned. Perhaps there's an area where, as much as we consciously want it, unconsciously we don't believe we deserve it. We believe we've failed somehow, or that we won't be responsible enough to maintain it once it comes, or we'll be heartbroken when we lose it. All these feelings are worthy. And what if there was another truth? Just breathe in that possibility, that existence, that we're completely taken care of, that nothing's wrong in this moment. All is well, and will be well, and all manner of things are well. Allow yourself to breathe in this truth and this ease. Breathe in fully through your nose. Exhale fully. Breathe in fully. Allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to let go. Thank you, everyone that showed up. I hope this helped in some way. And for the exercise, I really encourage you guys two things. So, to take one area in your life currently that you might be struggling with, that you're struggling with having compassion for yourself, and have a conversation with yourself or give yourself advice from a perspective of someone else in your life that you have a lot of compassion for. So, for example, if let's say your best friend, if your best friend were to say all the things you're struggling with, and maybe even write it down. An example would be like, I'm frustrated right now. And you write down all the reasons why you're not feeling motivated and what that feels like. And then you get to a place of stillness and you write down what you would say to your best friend. If your best friend said that to you, how would you respond to your best friend? Write it all down. And then afterwards, go in front of a mirror and say to yourself all the things you're struggling with, and then give the advice back that you would give to your best friend, but give it to yourself and allow yourself to see yourself in that way and to have complete compassion for yourself. I hope that works. If this helps you all in any way, I would love if you like, comment, share. If anyone wants to donate in any way or book a section, you can go to my website, reclaimtheway.com, www.reclaimtheway.com. I'll put it in here as well. I'm going to be doing specials for the next month for anyone who is doing my 40 Days to Abundance. I will offer reduced rates on there if anyone wants to book a one on one session. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Be the change you wish to see in the world. It begins and ends with you. Have an amazing day, everyone. Bye.